Happy New Year! Hello guys, how you getting on? My name's Aaron Kelly and you're very welcome back to another episode of the Premier League Verdict, the first Premier League Verdict of 2023. I mean, I've just watched Chelsea draw 1-1 with Nottingham Forest thanks to a goal from, I can't believe I'm saying this, Serge Aurier. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail on this video. If you want to have a look at my actual thoughts after the game, there will be a video up on my TikTok. Now on to the actual team, was it actual players and actual ambitions here on the Premier League Verdict. We have our graphic up in front of us as usual with our green, yellow and red box. We're going to kick off this week with a green box for Martin Odegaard. I think it's about time people start putting some respect on this young man's name. What an incredible player he is becoming for Arsenal. A standout performer with a goal and assist in Arsenal's 4-2 win over Brighton and Hove Albion on New Year's Eve. A win that sees them go 7 points clear here at the beginning of 2023. And is it time to finally say Arsenal are going to win the league? I think yes, and I think people should have been saying it a long time ago. I mean, Manchester City, they very, very rarely slip up in a title race. I mean, they've been so dominant over the last couple of seasons that, you know, when they do eventually slip up in a game, you have to capitalise, and full credit has to go to Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. You're looking at teams in the league at the minute and you're thinking to yourself, wow, who's going to stop them? Tell me now who is going to stop them? I actually don't think City are actually consistent enough this season, despite the fact they've got a robot up front who's got 21 league goals so far. They're just class. They're just class. From 1 to 11, they are unbelievable at the minute, Arsenal. Saka, Martinelli, both on the score sheet. That assist by Odegaard for Martinelli's goal. Incredible. Assist of the season from Martin Odegaard. Ridiculous vision and awareness to see that pass. Not many players would be able to even see that pass in that moment. And you have to think, they have a split second to make that decision, and Odegaard sees the run of Martinelli in his periphery and plays probably past the season, which results in assist of the season because Martinelli was too quick for Tariq Lamptey. In fairness to Brighton, they made a good go of it, and, you know, really, really nice to see Evan Ferguson get his first Premier League goal for the club. Actually forced a really poor error out of William Saliba in that moment. Brighton will be fine. They're still flying high in the Premier League's top 10, but Arsenal flying higher than the rest. And it's slowly but surely getting to a point where I'd actually be more shocked now if Arsenal didn't win the league than if they did. Now, they have got a very, very tough run of fixtures coming up now, Arsenal. Obviously, they've got Newcastle, who are flying high, Man United, who are coming into decent form, still not playing their best football, I feel like, but still getting good results, and Tottenham Hotspur, who, despite losing again today at the hands of Aston Villa, I think Tottenham are still well and truly up there despite their poor form. And it's still a really tough, you know, run of fixtures for Arsenal to go on at the beginning of this new year, and if they can get out of that, and unbelievably, imagine if they get 3 wins out of that, and City slip up somewhere along the way. That slip up certainly not going to be against fucking Chelsea. Man, Arsenal are fucking in business. They are actually in business. I can fully say now with chest, Arsenal at the minute are favourites for this Premier League title. And that, it's been so long since I've said that. I mean, this is just shows how far Arsenal have come. And this is by far the best Arsenal team in the Emirates era. I think this is absolutely no doubt in my mind. I mean, it's not exactly up against some incredible competition, but having said that, they have had decent teams, but nothing as formidable as this Arsenal team, who just don't look like dropping points at the minute. Unbelievable stuff. I think they play Manchester City in mid-February and again in April, but once they play that game in mid-February, I mean, I think we'll know well and truly by then what kind of shape Arsenal are in, but certainly their next 3 games are absolutely vital. But they get the green box this week, and specifically actually Martin Odegaard gets the green box this week for an incredible standout performance from him. We've referenced it already, but Manchester City slipped up this week then, and that's where the yellow box goes. And despite Erling Haaland scoring, brace yourself now, his 21st Premier League goal of the season, Manchester City couldn't hold on. An incredible goal of the season contender by Demarai Gray rescued a very vital point for Everton in their race for survival. I don't know what the problem is at Manchester City at the minute, but defensively they're just not as sound as they once were. I mean, Rodri with a really, really poor pass in the lead up to that goal, and then Demarai Gray was just afforded so much space. Really good overlap and run by Mykolenko. Still, he had so much to do there, Demarai Gray. An incredible strike. And I think for the first time this season, an Everton defender, or a defender rather in general in the Premier League, has managed to actually rattle Erling Haaland. I mean, how do you do that? The man's a fucking droid. I'm convinced of it. It was a really interesting and very entertaining battle to watch between Erling Haaland and Ben Godfrey, but my God, he was wound up something different yesterday. I mean, they still weren't able to stop him scoring. Most teams aren't. But he was on some different madness yesterday, Erling Haaland, but he did get his goal, which wasn't enough for Manchester City, who, as I said, fall further behind in the race to retain their Premier League title. We've got a bit of a story, a funny one this week actually. I mean, as wound up and annoyed I am about Chelsea, it would have been a lot to stop this man from being rescued from the stinker box this week. Wout Faes, or Fass, whatever his name is, Leicester City defender, looks like a bit of a David Luiz regen, has the absolute stinker of all stinkers to end 2022 in Leicester's 2-1 defeat at the hands of Liverpool. It started so well. Dewsbury Hall, I think I'd have to go Dewsbury Hall, gave Leicester the lead. I mean, again, really poor defending by Liverpool. He's gone straight through the middle of them. I don't know how he's been allowed to do that. Ideal start for Leicester, who are in vital need of points. Wout Faes scores the first own goal, and it's a bit of a freak one. It's a bit of a freak one. It's across from the right hand side. He tries to get a bit of a flick on it. It goes over. I've seen many goals in the Premier League scored like that in the past. I think Vincent Kompany scored one. I think I've seen Kolo Toure score one or two of them in the past. Jamie Carragher. It happens. It happens. It does. Those kind of goals, as freaky and weird as they are, they do happen. I remember Gary Cahill getting one when Chelsea were playing against Manchester City back in Conte's title-winning season. It was a cross from the right-hand side, and he somehow managed to volley it into his own net, but into the far top corner. Ridiculous. Still don't know how Gaz managed that, to be fair. But the second one, okay, ball is played through, Darwin Núñez one-on-one, and as often as Darwin Núñez gets in on one-on-one, what often happens is he misses. But he gets in on one-on-one, he chips it over the Leicester goalkeeper Danny Ward, it hits off the post, and Wout Faes, I mean, I don't know how he's managed to do this. There's so many better things you can do than kicking that ball into your own net, to the point where I genuinely would consider if he's done an Ivan Toney on it and betted on himself to score 2 own goals, because it was just gifted to him on a play and he just banged it into his own net from about 3 yards. It's not as if, obviously he doesn't have a huge amount of time to react, but I feel like as a Premier League defender, he definitely does have enough time there to get his head up and clear that ball, not into his own net, maybe even to the Anfield Road end, maybe out for a corner, maybe out for a throw-in, maybe if you can even manage that. But, I mean, nothing could have topped Wout Faes getting the Premier League verdict, stinker of the week, for this week. It was absolutely horrendous, but also fucking hilarious as well. Right, lads, that's where we're going to wrap it up for this week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. December recreations, I didn't think it would be a thing because there was so few games in December, but I actually have managed to pick out 3 goals to do for goal recreations. Hopefully going out to record that at some point this week. But yeah, lads, once again, 2023, here we go. We go again. Let's continue to support. Let's try and hit 1k as soon as possible. I believe we can do it. Make sure you slap a like on the video, lads, if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you are new, and I will catch you later.
Hopped in the whip and we all in play. Shawty wanna ride till the hop in the bag. 0 to 100, seen a rev on the dash. They ain't catching up like I'm moving too fast. I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making hits, dog, like I'm in a big league.